You are most welcome to another live stream. And today we're going to be looking at chapter 9 of Rich Dad Poor Dad. Okay, so we're going to be reviewing chapter 9, which is titled Getting Started. And the author started by saying that he wished that he could say that acquiring wealth was easy for him, but it wasn't easy. So, in response to the question that people used to ask him, people would often ask him, so how do I start? How do I start making money? How do I start acquiring wealth? Right? And, and he would tell them that it is actually very easy to find great deals. It is actually very easy to make money, to create wealth. It is like trying to ride a bicycle. You may wobble here and there, but then it is not that hard after all. With determination, you can start making money. With determination, you can start acquiring wealth. So it is only those who are determined to do it that can actually do it, because it is not going to fall on your lap. It's not going to come on a platter of gold. But once you get a hang of it, once you know what to do right, what not to do, then you can start making money. Right. So that you don't fall into the trap of running the rat race all your life. You don't fall into the trap of going to school, getting good grades, working for money by just getting a job. You want to make sure that you have money working for you. So here he offered 10 steps to awaken your financial genius. That in every one of us, there is a financial genius who may be sleeping or awake. So if yours is awake, it means that you're already on the right track. You know how to make money. You are making good use of this financial genius. But if yours is asleep, then these 10 steps, which is said that he himself personally used, would help you to awaken your financial genius. Although he said it is not compulsory. If you want to use these 10 steps, just like they have helped him, they can help you too. But if you say you don't want to use them, then you may actually find your own way around it. He said that some time ago he met a friend in Peru who was a gold miner, and he asked him how he was so confident about finding a gold mine. And this friend of his replied by saying, there is gold everywhere. Most people are just not trained to see it. So hopefully with these 10 steps, you can develop your God-given powers that only you have control over. Hopefully with these 10 steps, you can now start seeing opportunities. You now know how to start making money. So the number one step is this. It says, I need a reason greater than reality. For you to make money, for you to be wealthy, you must have a strong reason, a strong sense of purpose greater than your reality. Your reality may be screaming otherwise. It may not be in tune with what you want to see. The odds may be against you, and that is what you can see with your two eyes. That is what everybody can see. So for you to overcome this your unpalatable reality, you must have a strong reason. If you ask most people if they would like to be rich or financially free, of course they would say yes. But then reality sets in. They now discover that it is not as easy as they think, that there are so many ups and downs, there are so many hurdles to cross. And this is where a lot of people back off to say, hey, it is too much of a hassle to become rich. And so what happens? They remain in their comfort zone. They just rather remain where they are because they don't have a strong reason that can keep pushing them to want to be rich. The author gave a very good example of a young woman who had dreams of swimming for the US Olympic team. In reality, she would wake up at 4 a.m., she would swim for at least 3 hours before going to school. She sacrificed her Saturday night. She wouldn't party with her friends just because she had a focus. She had a strong reason to keep doing this. And on top of all of this, she still had to study, just like her other classmates. But then she was sacrificing a lot. And when Robert Kiyosaki asked her, what is compelling you to do all of this? Why are you making such a huge sacrifice? The lady said, well, I do it for myself and for the people I love. It is the love that gets me over the hurdles and sacrifices. So if you don't have a strong reason, maybe you look at your children and you're like, no, 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 you these children, you are never going to suffer the way I suffered. I suffered too much. My parents did not have money, and then we had to go through a lot of mess in life, so many bad experiences. I don't want these children. So those children will be your motivation for waking up early in the morning, for not sleeping until 11 p.m. or 12 a.m., working your wealth, yourself rather, into wealth. You must have a strong reason. For him, it is a list of the things that he wants, his wants, and don't want. So for you, it must be the same thing. What are the things that you don't want? You don't want to suffer like your children did. Like your parents did. You don't want your children to suffer like you did. You don't want to work all your life. You don't want to work until you are 80 years old. You don't want to do any hard labor in your old age when you're supposed to be enjoying. You don't want to be under the control of a boss all your life and then you retire. You don't want to be getting peanuts as pension. That can be your don't want. So now what are your wants? You want to live a free life. You want to be able to vacation abroad at least twice in a year. You want to give your children the good life that they desire. You want to send them to the best schools. You want to eat whatever you feel like eating, not just eating what is available. These are your wants. So this, your wants and don't want, should be propelling, should be motivating you. Anytime your flesh is trying to say sleep is not as hard as this, you'll be fine. Once you remember these wants and those wants, it will keep propelling you to work so hard, right? It said that a reason or purpose is a combination of wants and don't wants, and this has to do with deep emotional wants and wants. You must be very emotional about it. It must be strong enough to drive you. Other people may not see it, but you must have these strong emotional reasons. You have to list them out so that they keep propelling you. Without a strong reason or purpose, anything in life is hard. But if you have a strong reason and every time you remember that thing, you pick race, you keep working hard, then that is good. If you do not have a strong reason, there is no sense reading further. It will sound like too much work. So if you don't have a strong reason, maybe at this point, you are excused, so that you can use the remaining 20-something minutes to go and rest. So by now, you should have a strong reason, even if it is one. Why do you want to be wealthy? Why do you want to make money? Why do you want money to work for you and not you working for money all your life, right? Number 2 reason is, I choose daily. Remember that he's giving us the 10 steps that he used to acquire wealth. So the number 1 thing he said is, I need a reason greater than reality. Number 2 is, I choose daily. This is the power of choice. This is the main reason people want to live in a free economy, because they want the power to choose. You want to choose your life. You want to work on your own terms and conditions. You want to choose to be rich. Some people choose to be poor. Some people choose to be middle class. I've always known this, that life is all about choices. A lot of people may make excuses that, it is about my country. I'm not rich because the government is bad. The politicians are corrupt. I'm not rich because, I was born in Mali. If only I was born in America. If only I was born in Australia. It is because I'm an African. I am black. The odds are against me. No, it is a matter of choice. Life is all about choices. We do not choose to be born. We do not choose to die. We do not choose our parents. We do not choose our siblings. We do not choose the country that we are born into. We do not choose our religion at birth. There are so many things that we don't get to choose, that life throws at us. But when it comes to success and failure, when it comes to wealth and poverty, you choose them. The moment you become an adult, you have a choice over your life. You cannot blame anybody. You may try to pass blames, but it is absolutely your choice. The life that you are living now is your choice. The life that I am living now is absolutely my choice. If you want to be rich 5 years from now, if you don't want to beg, if you don't want to keep borrowing and to live in penury when you're in your old age. It has to do with your choice, right? It has to do with your choice. The author said a long time ago, as a little boy, he chose to be rich. Robert Kiyosaki and his best friend Mike, they started walking their path into wealth from the age of 9, and they did not depart from it. You see, you can also start teaching your children about this. Start making them to become aware of their financial status, what they want it to be several years from now. His best friend Mike had an assets column handed over to him, but he still chose to keep it. We read in a previous chapter that Mike is doing so well that he even did better than his dad, Rich Dad. He did so well. He's doing so well with the empire that his rich dad left him. Unfortunately, for so many generations, for some families, their next generation that they are trying to leave their so-called wealth for will squander this wealth because they don't have strong financial intelligence. Some of our politicians, or maybe not only politicians, some rich people today who are acquiring so much wealth, building their assets column and all of that. Unfortunately, by the time they are gone and they pass over this wealth to their children, because these children have not been trained to be good stewards of their assets, to handle money, they will not be able to carry on. I know a school in Lagos, a very fantastic private school. The owner did a great job, had 2 branches in strategic locations in Lagos. As I speak to you, the school has been sold off. So those who graduated from that school, it had nursery school, primary school, up to secondary school. It was a very big school, but those who graduated cannot pass through that location today and say, oh, this is the school I graduated from. This is where I finished my primary or my secondary school, because it is no longer in existence. What happened? The children, he married like a few wives, maybe like 3, 4, 5, I can't remember. But the children could not handle it. And so when the owner passed on, they didn't even know how to manage the business. They started fighting. Oh, everybody wants a piece of the inheritance. And they couldn't agree. None of them, I mean, not a single one, could carry on managing that business successfully. So they had to sell it off. Something that would have been generating so much money for them. That is what happens. So what do you need to do when it comes to choosing daily? Invest in education. Invest in education. In reality, the only real asset you have is your mind. Keep learning. Education does not mean going to the 4 walls of a school alone. You have to be a continuous learner. You have to be a lifelong learner. Keep investing. Go to seminars. Attend workshops. Read books. Listen to messages. Go on. You thank God for technology. Go on YouTube. You don't need to pay. Just search for some keywords related to what you want to learn. And you're going to see so many videos pop up. Listen to them. Take notes. Be intentional about those who follow on social media, those who share your kind of mindset, who are on the same journey with you. Alumni. No alumni. There's no alumni. The author said that there was a time he spent $385 to attend a course. And as of the time of writing this book, that $385 had yielded him more than $2 million, right? So invest in education. You can never go wrong with education, because at the end of the day, it is all about what you know. You can use that knowledge, implement it. So apart from what you know, you take action with it. Because really, a lot of people know many things, right? But how many people implement what you know? How many people take action? The number 3 thing is choose friends carefully. This is the power of association. Who are your friends? Who are your friends? What do they talk about? What are their interests? This will tell pretty much the outcome of your life. He said for him, he chose friends who are very rich, and he also chose friends who have taken a vow with poverty that they will never be rich. But from his rich friends and his poor friends, there are lessons to be learned. From his rich friends, he will learn how to make money, right? How to do business. They're going to share valuable information. Oh, that investment is doing well. Okay, it is time to key into that trade. But from his poor friends, he will learn not to make the mistakes that they made that keep them poor. But choose your friends carefully. Any friend that comes into your circle, there must be a reason why you have chosen that friend. Because his rich friends were so comfortable every time they are together. What do they talk about? Money, investments, things like that. They always talk about it. It's not that they are bragging, but what else are they going to be talking about? Because that is all that is dominating their lives. Whatever is dominating your thoughts, your mind, your life is what you'll talk about more or the most. But his poor friends were so uncomfortable talking about money. They always feel they feel that it is not necessary, right? They feel that it is unintellectual, it is rude to talk about money. And what happened? You know, they keep going to their rich friends. Imagine Robert Kiyosaki being your friend and you never ask him, how do you make money? Can you show me the way? But they're always quick to go and ask for a loan or to ask for a job. That is their mentality. So there is a warning here that in choosing your friend, make sure that you don't choose people who are frightened. Don't listen to poor, frightened people. Don't make them your friends. They are the chicken littles. You want to do great things, but they are ready to discourage you because they themselves, they never do great things. They don't understand. They will influence you negatively. The number 4 is master a formula and learn a new one. There must always be a formula that you can learn to help you create wealth. This is the power of learning quickly. In order to make bread, every baker follows a recipe, even if it is only held in their head. So you must have a formula. The same is true for making money. This is why money is often called dough. I need some dough. I made some dough, you know. So be very careful what you study and learn. Your mind is so powerful. What formula do you have in your head? What formula are you using when it comes to making money? What strategies do you have? If a formula has become old, it's no longer working, you have to discard it. You have to learn a new one. What tricks do you have or strategies or tips to make money, right? Search for a fast formula. There must always be a strategy somewhere that the rich people are using. You may also want to search for it. In today's fast changing world, it is not so much what you know anymore that counts, because often what you know may be old, but it is how fast you can learn. If an old formula is not working, discard it, learn a new one. You have to be very smart about that. The number 5 thing to do, the number 5 step to awaken your financial genius is to pay yourself first. The power of self-discipline. If you are not self-disciplined, there is no way you're going to pay yourself first, because there will always be bills to pay. There will always be expenses, very important ones. And then if you're not disciplined enough, you can't pay yourself first, right? Because those bills will always get in the way. You need to be disciplined. If you cannot get control of yourself, do not try to be rich, because you cannot sustain the riches. It makes no sense to invest money, make money, then blow it up. It is the lack of self-discipline that causes most lottery winners to go broke soon after winning millions. It is the lack of self-discipline that will make footballers who are earning so much today and in the next 5 or 10 years, they are so broke, poorer than a church rat. It is the lack of self-discipline. As they are making the money, they are blowing it off, living the big life, painting the town red, having girlfriends here and there, buying things that are not necessary, buying into luxury. They are not building their assets column. And because money has wings, money can fly away. Money does not like people who lack discipline. Money loves those who can take good care of it. So pay yourself first. A lot of reference is made to the book titled The Richest Man in Babylon here by George Clason. And that is what that book is majorly about: self-discipline. Self-discipline. You have to pay yourself. We learned yesterday that what the rich do is to pay themselves first, and then they live on the rest. So if what is left is not enough to sustain them, it now serves as a motivation when their creditors come calling, when the government is after them, and they have bills, their landlord is chasing them, then that will now be a motivation to say, hey, it means this money is not enough. And then they now work hard. They now look for other sources of income. But what do the rich do? They pay everybody else first, pay their bills, buy different things, and they try to live on the rest. So if the rest is just barely enough to help them survive, or they just feel okay, then they live in this false assumption that at least they're still okay. But in reality, they have nothing in savings. They have nothing in investments. They have nothing in their assets column. People who lack internal fortitude often become victims of those who have self-discipline. You must be tough inside. If you are not so strong, you don't have self-control, you cannot say no to some things, then there's no way you can pay yourself first. If you don't pay yourself first, how do you want to build wealth? How do you want to save? Because it's your savings that will now graduate into investment, right? What are the three most important management skills necessary to start your own business? Number one is management of cash flow. The number two is management of people. Number three is management of personal time. But all of this still come back to self-discipline. And the author says that he does not take the saying, pay yourself first, lightly. This is one strong habit that you have to develop. Pay yourself first no matter what. Although millions of people have read Clausen's book, The Richest Man in Babylon, and they understand the words, pay yourself first. But in reality, they pay themselves last. Don't be that person. There are days or times when he has more bills to pay, but he will still pay himself first. It is the power of self-discipline. And another thing, when it comes to paying yourself first or being disciplined, is not dipping into your savings. This is what keeps a lot of people poor. Any little thing, they are dipping their hands into their savings and they are spending their savings. They don't have that willpower to say, no, let me find other ways. As long as it is not life-threatening, you can still find other ways around it. Otherwise, if you keep dipping your hands into your savings, before you know it, you're not going to have any savings. You cannot create wealth. The rich know that savings are only used to create more money, not to pay bills. What's the number 6 step to awakening your financial genius? Pay your brokers well. You may want to hire people, brokers, accountants, lawyers, who are going to help you, teach you what you don't know, open your eyes to opportunities. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't pay these people well, right? If you want your lawyer to do well by you, your brokers, your stockbroker, your accountants, and all of these people, treat them well so that when they see opportunities, they will be very, very excited to bring them to you, because they know that they will get good commission from you. And any opportunities that they open your eyes to cannot actually bring you that money that you give them in multiple folds. But if you don't treat them well, even if they see opportunities, they see an investment that is going to do well, they are not going to tell you about it, right? Because they know that you are very, very stingy. So pay them well. It makes economic sense to hire a property lawyer anytime you want to invest in real estate. So ask the person to do due diligence for you, to check if there are no encumbrances on the land, if the land is safe to buy or invest in. But because you are stingy, you don't want to pay a property lawyer, then you invest into the wrong real estate. And 2 years down the line, you lose that land. Tell me, who is the biggest loser here? If you're in Nigeria, probably you'd have paid a property lawyer like 100K or 200K just to help you run a search on that land that you want to buy for 10 million naira. You see, just 200K, depending. But let's even say 200K, and then you buy that land for 10 million naira because you don't want to release that 200K. And two years down the line, they tell you that the government has interest in that land, or that it is not supposed to be sold out. You didn't do your due diligence, and then you lose 10 million naira. That's what we're talking about. Number 7 is be an Indian giver. This is the power of getting something for nothing. When the white people first settled in America, I hope you know that the Indians are the original settlers in America. Yeah. When I learned that like 2 years ago, I was really surprised that so the Americans are like invaders in America. The Indians, and I actually went to a place where I saw a lot of evidence to this. The Indians were the original settlers in America. So when the first white settlers came to America, who people now think that, oh, they are the original settlers. When they first came to America, they were shocked by the cultural practice that some Indians, American Indians, had. For example, if a settler was cold, an Indian would give this person a blanket. So this white American would assume that this blanket is a dash. But no, the Indian was only giving you for a while. Use it and return it. So there was always a misunderstanding. Anytime the Indian would ask for his blanket, the American would be surprised, like, oh, I thought you dashed me. I thought it is now mine. And the Indian would also be offended that the American did not want to give it back. So this is where this phrase came out from, be an Indian giver, as in there must always be something in it for you. If you want to be a good investor, ask yourself, what is in it for me? What free thing can I get in addition to this? Right? So that your asset column will keep building up. Somebody is asking you, come and buy 10 plots of land. Negotiate. Can I get 1 plot extra, 1 plot free? Something like this. And a lot of real estate companies do this now. Okay, buy 1 plot, get a 50 kg bag of rice. At least if you get 50 kg bag of rice, that will save you another cost of buying a bag of rice in Nigeria now, which is, I'm not even sure of the current price, but it should be like 80,000 naira, you know. That is something. Instead of taking money from your pocket to go and buy that bag of rice for your family to eat, then you get it by buying a plot of land, right? So always make sure that you find good deals that can bring you something extra in return, which ordinarily saving money in the bank is not going to give you. Instead, from your savings account, you are going to be paying charges every now and then. The number 8 thing is assets buy luxuries. Don't focus first on buying luxuries. Anytime you make money, this is one of the bad habits of poor people, the poor and the middle class. Anytime they have money, the first thing they want to buy is luxury, so that people will know that they've arrived. Once somebody gets a raise at work, or somebody closes a business deal and money comes in, person is thinking of buying a new car, you know, buying a new furniture in the house, changing the TV, changing the children's school. When you can use that money to earn more money, to make more money, before you now start thinking of spending it. So assets should buy your luxuries. Yeah. When you invest that money, then the returns from it, the gains from it, should now be used to buy your luxuries. And there's a story here of a child who was just 16 years old, who would always make a hole in his pocket because he wanted a car just like his other classmates. And his dad was like, oh, he wanted to now dip his hand into his savings, his college money, to buy a car at all costs. And his dad called Robert Kiyosaki, should I allow him? And Robert Kiyosaki said, no, don't allow him, because that may bring short-term solution, but in the long run, you're not going to help this boy, right? And they now devised a means. The father gave him $3,000 to say, okay, you can use my money, but you can't use it outrightly. Trade with this money. If you're able to trade with it and make like $6,000, then I'll give you this money. You don't have to use your college money. Then you can buy the car. So he subscribed to the Wall Street Journal, where this boy could learn about investment, trading, and all of this, right? So instead of this boy watching MTV Base, he started watching another TV program that would talk about trading, investment, making money, and all of this. Before he knew it, his interest in investment and savings and trading grew, even though he lost $2,000 of the money. You know, he now had keen interest. His interest was not even in buying the car anymore, you see. But to now learn how to make money, okay, so because at first he actually made gains and he was excited, okay, so I can double my money, I can gain this amount of interest and things like that. That is what we should be teaching our children, not just handing over whatever they want to them immediately. If your child work for this, okay, you want ice cream, okay, go and do this. You can give them little chores at home to do, depending on the age of the child. If your child is old enough, you can say, okay, follow me to my office. I'm going to arrange all the files, and I'm going to pay you $20, you know, when you are done. The child will want to do it again. Maybe what the child wants to buy is $200. He knows I has to work for like 10 days. And then you tell the child, you cannot even spend all the money. You have to pay your tithes. You have to make sure you save a part of it. So the child will want to work more. And children love it. They love to earn. Up till today, my daughter is still asking me for some money that she realized at her auntie's wedding in August. Where is that money, mom? You said that you're going to keep it for me. They don't forget. They love money. No matter how young no matter how young they are. So this boy learned a valuable lesson, and at the end of the day, it was not about the car anymore. It was about learning how to invest. What's the next one? Number 9, the need for heroes. Do you have any heroes when it comes to building wealth, making money? What heroes do is that they make your journey very easy. So you can look for a mentor. It doesn't have to be a physical mentor. It might be somebody that you always watch on TV, or somebody who has written a book, or you have read about in a book, or a movie character, and if you have a physical hero, fantastic, somebody that you have one-on-one interaction with, you emulate the person. How did this person do it right? What mistakes did they make? How did they avoid these mistakes? How do they build wealth? What are their daily habits? Because sometimes we emulate our heroes without knowing. If you like a particular movie character, if care is not taken, you start talking like that person. When you're in secondary school, for example, you may realize that, oh, maybe there is a child in your class that you adore so much, but this child stammers, and you too want to start stammering like this child. That is the power of a hero. You must have a hero. You must have somebody that you look up to, and that subconsciously you are trying to emulate the person. You are trying to think like the person. You are even dressing like the person. You're talking like, you're acting like the person. You may not even know it, but you have imbibed this person's character to that extent. You cannot go through life and not have somebody that you look up to. It's a bad habit. It's not good. The 10th one is teach and you shall receive. And the power, this is the power of giving. You may want to teach about money. The more you teach about money, the more you teach about how to make wealth, the more ideas flow to you. When I started creating content, I didn't even realize that I would also be a big beneficiary of the things that I teach other people. I just wanted to add value. I just wanted to share my knowledge, to teach people what I know. But what happens now? I am benefiting majorly from it, because the more I teach it, the more ideas flow. The more I motivate people, I charge them, do this. I also don't want to carry last. I don't want to be laid back. I'm now doing the same thing. And apart from that, I find money flowing my way through content creation, different means. But what did I start out doing? Teaching, giving. People will come into my DM, I'll give them free advice, give them free consultation. I'll talk to them. Some people will bring their whole family problem. They don't even know if I have my own family problem too. I'll still help them. So be ready to give. Give, and it will come back to you in multiple folds. Teach. Rich dad would always give money, and money kept on flowing to him. Poor dad believed that, you would all receive first. When he received from what he has, then he will give. But even at that, he would teach people, and then he became a master teacher, right? So there is nothing too small to give. This is one of the steps to awaken your financial giants. If you don't give, you may not receive. And what to give may not exactly come to you the same way, but you will reap it in multiple folds, right? Sometimes we give money, we expect money to come back. It may not be money that will come back. It may just be that somebody will show your child a favor. It may come in another means, but there's no way you will give and not receive. Have the compassion of humanity at heart. Give people, teach them. Don't hoard knowledge. Don't hoard information. You're not going to gain anything that way like that. All right? Give. And even if you give and you don't receive, just give for the sake of giving. You feel fulfilled. You're going to be happy that you did. Thank you so much. We've come to the end of chapter what again? Is it 8 or 9? Chapter 9. We've come to the end of chapter 9, getting started. So you may go over this again. Make sure that you implement them. So that you can awaken the sleeping financial genius inside of you and use that genius to your own advantage to accumulate wealth, to get rich. And don't forget to give back. Whatever wealth, riches that you accumulate, give back to people, give back to the society, because one way or the other, it's going to come back to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like this video, share your comments with me. Please subscribe to this channel if you are yet to subscribe. I remain Olaide Agbaje, also known as First Lady, and on this channel, I inspire you to live intentionally. I'll come your way again tomorrow by God's grace. Until then, be intentional. Bye.